Hey baby doll, how you doing, pumpkin? I have an Ethereum prophecy that you're probably not gonna like. I don't like it either, but we're not gonna make this same mistake, okay? We're not going to drink the hopium. The third Ethereum cycle prophecy. The third one. This is really important. I have a third cycle curse prophecy in crypto. I've noticed this. I haven't seen anybody else mention it. So it's mine. So if you hear it from anywhere else, you know which peanut brain made it. So my Ethereum prophecy is coming true. We're going to go through this together. The third cycle curse is real. ETH members are admitting that their scaling decisions won't pump the price in the short term. I am making this video now to explain the prophecy. I've made some tweets. If you've been following me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But because you're a baby doll, we're going to go through this together. So this is an ETH community member for the Beacon chain, Mr. SuperPhiz. And look at his comments, okay? I want you to understand. Before we read this comment, get into the mind of the people running the show. When they type stuff, you got to remember it is a reflection of the long-term vision of how they truly feel. The only person I have seen where this doesn't apply is me. Go and find my messages in Telegram, Discords, different communities, Twitter. Go and find them. And you will think I'm bipolar. You will say, oh my God, how is this guy? How is my friend Somi having targets so wildly high, yet critiquing so aggressively at these lows? How? And that's because I am unbiased. That's the truth. The truth is I'm actually just a messenger. I'm unbiased. That's actually the truth, you know. I can be super bullish. But I can tell you it's crap right now, man. Okay? I've got nothing. I'm not selling you anything. And it's a sign of leadership and strength. I know, even for the bags I hold, even if I tell you it's trash, I have so much confidence in my ability to weather the storm over time that I don't care. I can FUD them myself. They're still going to make it. You understand where I'm coming from? That's a sign of strength. I don't need you to look the other way. I can tell you, this thing I hold, it's trash. It is garbage. Did I make a mistake? No, because I was dealing with the information I absorbed to get this far in life. That's the only mistake I made, was not knowing the future. That's it. So we have to remember this is a reflection of what's going on. So when I speak, I am super bullish, super bearish. Like, you don't know where I'm coming from because I'm a biased man. I don't look up to one source of truth for everything because I know humans, we're all infallible. All right. So I am not normal, but everybody else is. We slip up like that. Okay. And these people working on Ethereum, they're not investors. They're not degens. These guys are actually changing the world. They're actually working to change the world. They're making a public good for society so that someone can make applications, make our lives easier, bring on politicians, bring on big funds. Yes, more money will flow in, but that's because of economic activity. They're actually doing that hard work. Okay? So, what does he say here? Why would we bother scaling Ethereum and lowering the cost of transactions if it's not going to make Ether very valuable very quickly? Because this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. This guy is spelling it out for you. Read between the lines. Read between the lines, okay? He says, he's saying to you, why would we bother scaling them and lowering the cost of transactions like right now? And then he even admits it's not going to make Ethereum very valuable quickly. You know? Because it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. So read between the lines. Well, you're listening to me, okay? I'm going to read between the lines for you. What he's saying is, we are aware that economic energy, aka dollars, is going to be diluted from here on as layer 2 solutions come up. people won't need to necessarily buy Ethereum to actually use ETH for the goal we want. You don't have to. Our marketing message is not, you must buy ETH. The marketing message is, come and build on the Ethereum network ecosystem, layer 2s. Okay? And why are they doing this? Because they're rich already, man. That's why they're doing it. Okay? Do you get me? It's their third cycle now. They can do this. I noticed in the charts something very special, okay? When any coin hits its third cycle, it's finished. Diminishing games. The crowd is going to get disappointed. There's only one coin there's only one coin that it didn't happen to, with a very, very special exception, and we're going to go through that as well. So look, just you got to understand this to me. You know, this Ethereum comment, if you're looking at this, you think, oh, you're just pulling it out of your bum. Well, I want to explain to you something. There's a token out there called Flow. Flow, all right? Have you heard of Flow? Flow is, let's have a look here. This top left is going to be Bitcoin chart. Flow, I got its ICO, all right? Flow. And Flow is like an NFT chain. Oh my God, okay. Give me a proper chart, man, because that is horrendous. Yes, the whole thing is trash. Okay, the whole thing is absolutely trash. Oh my God. Okay, this is absolutely garbage. I'm sorry, like I want to. Yes, you're looking at Flow, and I'm trying to find some beacon of hope here for you. Okay, I think this is it. Let's go to regular chart. Okay, I want you to know. So we all got the Flow ICO. We got it at 10 cents. It got released down here, man. It was garbage. Okay, it was garbage. We got it at like 14, 10, 8, $9. It was nothing. It was pathetic. All right. So let's look at this monthly chart. Okay. Monthly charts, you got to live it. Let's live it together. So Flow is an NFT chain, and you know, gaming, whatever. They did the basketball cards, Top Shots, right, and centralized. So that's the 2021 narrative, and I want you to understand that during this time, okay, before we got our token unlocks, and it was public ICO, you could have done it on one of those coin websites. So before we got our unlocks, there were people talking and interviewing the developers of the chain when the chain was out. And when Flow was up here, right, when it was actually peaking and people were actually excited, they said to them, hey, like, what are you going to do like to help Flow go up over time? Okay, so after we had peaked and we come down, I think this China dump area. Mark my words, this is true. The Flow developers, or the leader, one of them, the main dude, he said, we don't want the price to go up because we want transactions to be cheap. We don't like it up like that. And the person asking the question said, what are you going to do about all this token inflation coming in the long term? Like, the price has gone up before, but how can you keep getting the price up? And that's what his response was. His response was, we don't want the price up. So shame on you. Shame on you. Why release a good like this out to the world if you don't want its value to go up? It's like saying, oh, I'm going to run a business and it's going to lose money. Yeah. Right? And you can't use the example that it's charity, because if a charity actually makes money in the next 2 years, it can survive for 15 years and keep being charitable. But if you just go bankrupt in 1 or 2 years because you don't make money, well, you're a poo-poo head. Okay? These guys are poo-poo heads. That's why I immediately sold on the unlock. I don't care. This hurt me. I had to sell at the end of a big fat red candle with everyone else. As soon as it was unlocked, bang. We all got out. I forgot when it was, but yeah, I just like, you know what? I know I'm selling low, but I don't care. Whatever. Because I just reading that comment from the Flow developer, just it stung me. I was like, you don't say that accidentally. We don't care about the price going up. Shame on you. Okay, so let's go. You know when any founder or leader says we don't care about the price going up, what they're saying is we're actually grifting you to your face. That's what they're saying, right? If you are not adding value, what are you doing? You're losing value. Of course. Okay? What's losing value mean? Robbing the people. It means robbing the people. If someone says we don't want the value to go up, Because I'm trying to help you. Listen to me, okay? You have to filter these words out. And you're listening to me because I can filter them out. When someone says we don't want the price to go up too much, what they're actually saying is we're already rich. We want you to keep holding because we're going to dump slowly. We just can't dump it all at once. Instead of dumping 100% of my bag today, I'm going to dump 2% every month. And we're going to like drag it out over time because there's not enough liquidity or whatever issue it is, okay? That's the translation. And if you don't believe me, well, you're not going to make a fire in this world. You're going to have to assume that. Just assume every time you hear that, that's what it means every time. Because if I'm right, then you're going to lose everything. And if I'm wrong, you're still going to lose everything. Because they clearly have told you we didn't care about the price going up, okay? So the best case is your coin or asset that you're holding stays flat, right? And the worst case is that I'm right and that it goes down. So look at this. Either you're horizontal or down. I mean, this is like you don't want to hear this, okay? So don't get scared. Just because you're hearing this from Ethereum, guys, does not mean price is going to go down. What's my actual prophecy? My prophecy is not Ethereum's going to the floor. No. My prophecy is this. I went through heaps of charts and I noticed a pattern. I noticed when a crypto is in its second cycle and finishes it and now begins the third cycle, it's going to disappoint everyone. It's going to begin its journey of disappointment. And it starts off okay, and then it gets to a certain point towards the end of the cycle and it stops. And it underperforms everyone's expectations. It becomes a dingleberry. Unfortunately, yes. Third cycles. I don't know why. I can't tell you why number 3. Why number 3 and not number 2? You would kind of think, okay, if something went really good in the first cycle, the second cycle's cursed. Nope, it's not. The third cycle's cursed. We're going to go through all these examples. I have all these charts here. All these charts, okay? So, Bitcoin. We just had a third cycle, baby. So let's start with Bitty. Mr. Bitcoin, let's start. We went through, we're going to do a monthly chart, all right? Look how much it killed it in its first cycle. All right, look how much it killed it. Depends. Do you want to call this a cycle when it drops in 6 months and it comes back 6 months later? That's like Bitcoin being already, by this point, we're back to 70K, right? It's like Bitcoin did this. Would you call that like a cycle? You wouldn't, right? So we're going off the halvenings, yeah? We're 2012, 2016, and 2020. So this cycle was an absolute monster. You got, remember, remove the last 2 digits, 372x. Just I'm doing it from the middle of the range, okay? Wow, you killed it. Next cycle, actually, yes, 1, 2, here we go. 3, 2, there we go. From here, you did another 100x. From here, 40x. So you can see 300, 100, 40-ish. Look what's happening here. I'm not going to take this very, very low. Don't give me this, okay? Don't give me this if you trash if you're just going to take it from the low. Take an average price, 10x. This was the third cycle for Bitcoin. This was a disappointment, okay? This was the third cycle. This disappointed everyone. Everyone. We didn't hit 100K. We did this crappy double top formation. There we got scammed by FTX, SBF. This is just huge disappointment. And we traced almost the entire move. It's just really bad. They printed plus 30%, plus 37% of the money supply in the zombie virus, and we still only did this and come all the way back down. Like, they've only pulled 1% of liquidity. So this is a huge disappointment. Okay, third cycle. Third cycle, poopy. Now, let's go to Ethereum. Actually, before we go into Ethereum, let's go to the other coins so we can see what's happened. All right, I want to go through all these examples. Let's do XRP, man. XRP, first cycle. First cycle did super well, right? First cycle did super well. Yeah, I don't know what the ICO is for XRP. I think it was down here, to be honest. It might have been 001. That's a lot, man. You get 50x from there. I think it was there. All right, but it doesn't even matter. Let's say you just got whatever, 20, 30x. Pretty good, right? First cycle. What about this one? Now, this one was the absolute monster of monsters. 500x on XRP. So the first cycle was good. And the second cycle, I'm going to give this a double tick because this is phenomenal. This thing went so far. It's like XRP. You feel like in this chart, it was never meant to go 500x. It was actually meant to stop here. If you see this is going to appear somewhere else, right? If XRP stopped here at 15 to 20 cents and you remove this top part and you assume this didn't happen, okay? Look what ends up happening in XRP. It might have turned around and it might have gone up here and broken its high. How amazing is that? It breaks 36 cents. It goes to $1.50. That's pretty good, right? Pretty good, but it didn't. Its third cycle. It did amazing in the second cycle. So sometimes I just like to do that. Like if we erase the monster part where it hit $3 and say, hey, you're actually only meant to stop at 20 cents, then we actually have like a normal cycle. We go, oh wow, XRP broke 30 cents and it hit, $1.50. And by the way, its market cap today is still 16 billion, even after this drop. But if you include this for XRP, right? XRP it's a world of pain, man. You're down 90% in 5 years. It's really, really harsh, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we've gone on like 5, 6 years, man. It's harmful. Okay, so third cycle curse. So we have a double tick. This is a cross. Okay. I want you to see now Litecoin. Litecoin, we laugh at it now, man. Did really good. One of its first cycles. I think this was the first one was that 2013 one, right? The first one was 2013. It had this cycle, 100x, which is crazy. Yeah, Litecoin did 100x. That's why everyone loves it, man. What did it do in this third cycle? Tick, tick. This is a poopy. This is an actual poopy. This is, let's say you just bought in the middle of this range somewhere here. How much did you get? Oh my God, you got 6x. Wow. Wow, Bitcoin did a 10x. Pathetic, right? And it makes sense. Litecoin, what do you even need it for? The community's not growing, right? So even if you don't need Litecoin, its community is not actively shilling. It exists, but they're not shilling. Third cycle was a poopy again, okay? So what about Cardano? This is where it's going to get interesting, all right? Cardano, it had its one cycle here. I think the ICO was like 10 cents, did 100x. Cardano did 100x in 60 days. First cycle, amazing. Second cycle, it also did amazing. I'm not going to do this bottom to top bullcrap, but from the low here, it rallies like 78x, okay? Tick, tick. So yes, what I think is in the next cycle, Cardano is going to disappoint. What's that disappointment? I don't know. Is it only going to go back to $2.60? Is it only going to go back and do a 10x from here? Or is it going to go up to like, $4 up here? Is it going to go up to $4, but then drop 90% again? Is that what's going to happen? Think about that if it does that. If you remember, this is actually what Litecoin's chart did. Let's look at Litecoin chart. See? See? It comes up. It barely breaks the high. Comes back down. Let's see that actual full retracement. 90%. Maybe that's what Cardano does. Maybe Cardano goes to $4 only in the next cycle. Everyone's expecting $10 plus, but then it goes back down to 40 cents. Maybe. Third cycle. Okay. What about Doge? Doge is one of the miracles. Okay. Doge is one of the miracles. So Doge, this first cycle, 20x. Second cycle, 70x. Pretty good, right? What did it do in the third cycle? This is why the Doge miracle. Okay, Doge did more in its third cycle than anything else. Did 300x. Isn't that nuts? Isn't that absolutely nuts? This is why it's a miracle. However, remember I said there are some exceptions, right? Why is this an exception? We all know. Elon came, the most popular guy in the world, made this his chosen coin. The network effect of this was so strong, you can't deny it, okay? So that's why Doge did this. So it's very rare. So on average, if you just believe something's going to do poopy in its third cycle, you're way more safe than trying to think you're going to get the next Doge. We all know that, right? This is picking a real lottery ticket. So if we look at actually the weekly, you can see, I think this is what I feel personally. I feel that Doge was meant to stop here, just like XRP did. Remember that XRP chart? It was supposed to stop at kind of 20 cents. Then it went to $2 or $3. I feel like Doge was meant to stop here and then drop. That's why I feel like Doge It's not going to be that great in the next cycle. I know it's going to go up. One day it'll hit $1. One day. But I think now it's going to have its delayed curse. That's what I think is going to happen. It's still going to be around. Don't get me wrong. It's still going to be around. But the type of people who bought it, yeah, I mean, you just got to think, man. You just got to think. You're looking at this same structure from XRP. You're like, you were meant to stop here. This is why this thing was so hard. That's why everybody exited early. Everyone, including me. I was like, I was like, this thing's done. Like, you're looking at this chart and you're like, okay, yes. Finally, okay, it's time, it's time to get out. Look at this. Look, why are you being greedy? Why are you being greedy? You're up to 30x. What else do you want? Oh, your 30x became 300x if you hold on. That's why this thing is, you only make it to the end if you're a diehard believer. Only. If you were the guy, like here, see this? I know people who sold here, 2x. They're like, hey, don't get greedy, man. 230%. You killed it. Yeah, well, went 300x. Okay? You're not a believer. You're not a believer. You don't deserve the gains. Okay? That's how the game works. You want to make it to the end? You got to be a bulltard. You want to make it to the end? You got to be a bulltard, no matter what happens. But we're just trying to share some insight for the third cycle curse prophecy. So, I have Ethereum now. Okay? I have Ethereum. So, with Ethereum, we had its first cycle and its second cycle. Its first cycle went absolutely bonkers, 1,680x. Second cycle, 30x. That's why I think we're going to be let down somewhere. Something's going to happen. Now, you have the comment from that ETH guy. That's like firstly, I made my prophecy. That's the first signal you have. Secondly, you see this Ethereum developer saying, hey, we're going to focus on layer 2s. What he means is, economic energy is going to split to the layer 2s instead. So instead of them saying shill ETH, they're going to be promoting, hey, come and use layer 2s, like go and use them. And you don't have to directly buy ETH and play around in the playground, even though the layer 2s do burn up and use ETH themselves, but it's much, much smaller, okay? So that's what we have to think about. So how is this going to disappoint everyone? I'm already ready to accept that we're going to be disappointed up here somewhere. So I'm thinking in my mind. So here's the cool thing, right? You don't know the third cycle is going to be a disappointment at the start, okay? The best example I can give is Bitcoin. Bitcoin's plus token Ponzi was so strong, but guess what? Guess what overpowered it? The third cycle prophecy. So if you are watching the price action of strength for your coin, you can't say to me, hey man, this thing is strong now. I don't think it's going to be a disappointment. Okay? Because we have evidence of this happening you'll be completely wrong. I thought this. I thought Bitcoin was going to go great because it started off the cycle so well. And then the third cycle prophecy was more powerful, okay, than that price action stuff. So let's go to Ethereum. You know by now, okay, so quickly. Bitcoin made red candles here. Bitcoin broke the low, down. Ethereum is a baby doll, and Ethereum's gone up, higher low, all right? So we know Ethereum's like showing us, hey, it's got some strength here. But now we know, right? It's like winding up for a disappointment. So if I was to guess, and this is obviously subject to changing at any time, how would everyone get trapped? I think everyone would get trapped at 10K. I think what happens is, I know it's going to hurt to say, but I think Ethereum somehow, like it starts off super strong and it somehow gets to like, up here. So I don't know how to interpret what comes next because there's not enough information. So maybe Ethereum is at 8,000 to 9,000 and everyone is like, dude, because everyone says Ethereum is minimum $10,000 asset. Minimum. Maybe that's how everyone gets trapped. Everybody's at 8 or 9K and everyone's like, dude, we hit 8 or 9K so fast. Of course 10,000's next. But actually what happens is you go back to 3K. Maybe that happens. Maybe that happens. Perhaps also the chance of, this is high as well, where Ethereum goes to like 12K, right? 12, 13, and everyone thinks it's a 20K asset. And then it comes back down too. You got to decide yourself, do you want to take that risk when Ethereum is $8,000? Is that equal to Bitcoin being 60,000, right? So when Bitcoin, this is the $100,000 target up here, right? Bitcoin up here, so this is like, this is Ethereum, equal to Ethereum 10K, and here's Ethereum 8, okay? Do you want to take that chance? If you are up here, and I'm just asking you, do you want to take that chance with your whole portfolio? Die-hard Ethereum believers will, and that's why if Ethereum goes to 16K and bursts up, they deserve it. So this is something to consider, okay? Well, I'm not bearish on Ethereum. I just think that the gains are getting smaller. That's what I'm thinking, a disappointment, right? Disappointment of some sort. So now that I have these disappointments, I'm going to end with a positive note. Simply put, I want to buy coins that have had either no cycles or only one before. So it is in its first or second cycle. I want to buy coins like that. I have ChainLink here. ChainLink is only had one cycle. Bang. How much did it do? Right. 259x. I think, yeah, maybe it does like a, from here, maybe it does a 30x in the next one, $180. That's my target. $180 around here. My real target is $600, right? But I have to adjust downwards for my bull tard factor because I know I'm always one cycle too early. Okay, so instead of $540 divided by 3, 180. That's around my target. So I think, I think that'll be another tick. We'll give that another tick. That's what I think is going to happen. All right. So what about Hex? Hex has only had one cycle too. Only one cycle. I think, from here did huge, right? 1000x, absolutely monstrous. 1600x. I mean, 10,000x from the bottom. You get the point, right? So I hope I'm wrong and it doesn't stop here. But up here, this price is about, so the top here was 50 cents. So this is about $1.50 up here. Yep, that price is about $1.50. Okay, so you're getting 50 to 100x from the low because it's so extreme. Hit minus 97%, 80, 90, 100x, bang. I think that's what happens too, and I would give that a tick. I think that's going to be a tick. Obviously, I wanted to hit $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10. I wanted to hit so much higher. But even my estimate, my conservative estimate, to protect everyone's expectations, I still give it a tick. Okay, it's its second cycle. If you are listening and you know coins that have only had one cycle before, please tell me, because I want to know. Because there are others, right? Uni only had one cycle. AAVE, I think, only had one cycle. Although I'm not completely 100% sure, we will check because it's very hard to get the full market cap data of AAVE. I have to use another chart. Oh, here it is. So yeah, actually, believe it or not, this is going to be AAVE's third cycle. So the AAVE actually launched and it gave you a 20x in 2017. And then from this low did like, a huge amount. 550x. A 20x in a month, tick. So yeah, maybe this is the one that disappoints. Maybe AAVE is the one that disappoints itself, So I only have one cycle for ChainLink, one cycle for Uni. I'm leaning towards them. There are others. There are going to be others. We'll find others. Plenty of others, So we don't have to lock ourselves into one area, but it's just something to think about. First cycle is most powerful, but you carry the most risk in the first cycle, right? Because it's unlimited potential, but also you don't have a tick to lean on. So if something gives you a tick in the first cycle, then your condition is, okay, let's look at it for its second cycle. That's what we can see. You go, okay, it did something great before. Maybe there's some magic and people believe it's going to do super great again. Because that's actually what happens. Because if something does, like 200x in the first cycle, people, we expect linear stuff. Humans expect linear stuff in investing, right? No one says in the second cycle it's going to do 30x. Everyone's saying it's going to do 100x minimum. Right? And then that doesn't happen. It stops at 30x. But I still call these a winner, right? And then people still believe in that original one. And in the third cycle, maybe you end up getting like a 10, A 10 from the low to the high. This is what happened to XRP. Exact same thing. People still believe in XRP because it did 500x in 2017. I want you to know that, okay? So maybe that happens with Chainlink and Hex. People keep holding out at the tops, right? That's a story for another time, okay? So, we've learned something today. To summarize, the third cycles are usually a curse. They are usually a curse. The Ethereum developers have basically told us they're going to curse themselves and not focus on up only at all, because Ethereum's basically gone up so much. I want to provide a public good to the world. And we don't have to let this defeat us. We can conquer this because now we know, okay, we're going to rotate to ETH, but we're not going to hold ETH. Okay? ETH is going to be your profit taker. You're going to take profit in ETH. But everything else is going to be application layer, smaller community, higher burst of upside. And we know this, okay? And what are all the influencers saying? What are all the influencers saying, friends? Every single influencer, their top 5 coins, I know them off by heart. They go ETH, ADA, maybe XRP, Algorand. What else do they put? Polkadot, BNB, Matic. Do you see? This is off the top of my head. I've watched so many of these top 5 coins of all the major influencers, millions and millions of followers. They all say this stuff, okay? They all say top 5 altcoins, it's always ETH. So, yeah, I believed in ETH, but now that I'm seeing, unfortunately, 99% of influencers are putting ETH in the top 5 category to own, it can only mean one thing. It can mean that it's saturated now. The idea of it is saturated. Doesn't mean it's bad, it just means who else is left to discover it? Now, there are going to be people who are going to believe. You know who else is left to discover it? The people who want to buy for 20K, 20K plus or whatever. 20K, 30K. They're the people who are going to be left to discover it, and they might be the ones who end up getting the disappointment. But us from here, we're good to go. Until next time, friends, I love you all.